The alternative is an opportunity for life, an opportunity to move forward and to improve the quality of life of our families. Accepting this alternative means we can aspire to having a home and nice things, to being free. But even if the talks succeed, Colombia's problems are not over. Another movement, the Army of National Liberation, is made up in large by right-wing extremists and criminal gangs.
No suspects have been arrested in connection with the brutal shooting of Pakistani teenager Malala Yousafzai. The Pakistani Taliban claims responsibility of the shooting and warned it will target the 14-year-old should she survive the latest assassination. CNN's Reza Say has more about her from Islamabad.
Bloodstains cover the seats of an old canopied pickup truck. Malala Yousafzai and her classmates rode together to get home from school. This is where Malala was sitting, police say, when gunmen shot her in the head. Kainat Ahmed, Malala's friend, was sitting next to her, she says, when one of the attackers stopped the truck. Another came around the back, Kainat says, gun in hand. When we saw the gun, we started screaming, Kainat says. He asked, who's Malala? I don't think anyone told him, but he recognized Malala and started shooting. Malala fell down, but he kept firing. That's when my friend and I got injured. Kainat is recovering from a bullet wound to the hand. The 14-year-old Malala, who had a high-profile blog critical of the Taliban, is clinging to life following major surgery. The passenger truck now part of an intense investigation to find the gunman. The Pakistani government, under increasing pressure to solve the case, has given conflicting accounts of the probe. The Interior Minister says the two gunmen have been identified and arrests are coming soon. The Foreign Minister told CNN 100 people were detained for questioning. A regional police chief says 35 people are in custody for questioning. 3 blame Malala's shooting on a man with suspected links to the Taliban. The Taliban have already claimed they plotted the attack, but police say still no hard evidence who pulled the trigger. On Friday, the outpouring of support continued with a message from the Prime Minister.
And we have to unite and stand together.
And vigils across the country. Pakistanis, young and old, praying for Malala, a 14-year-old human rights activist whose legend grows by the day.
She, a little child, gives older people hope and inspiration and sanity, and brings us back from depression and dejection.
A top government official says in the coming days, doctors will be keeping a close eye on the swelling in Malala's brain. Swelling after brain surgery, a big concern. Of course, the brain is enclosed in a hard casing. The skull, unlike other parts of the body, the swelling doesn't have anywhere to go. That's why doctors say they're going to keep a close eye on it. Much of this nation, much of the world, keeping a close eye on Malala's health as well. Reza Sayah, CNN, Islamabad.
President Obama will spend Saturday in Williamsburg, Virginia, where he plans to spend most of his time there preparing for his second debate with Republican challenger Mitt Romney. Romney will campaign in the swing state of Ohio on Saturday. Meanwhile, there are still locks for buzz about last week's vice presidential debate and lots of fact-checking. More on that from CNN.
It's one of the most serious charges Congressman Paul Ryan leveled at Vice President Joe Biden.
There were requests for extra security. Those requests were not honored.
Extra security for U.S. diplomats in Libya. But Biden claims the White House didn't know about security requests.
We weren't told they wanted more security again. We did not know they wanted more security again.
But the former regional security officer in Libya told a congressional committee that he asked for additional security for Benghazi months before the attack and was denied. It's not known for now how high up in the administration his request got.
He was speaking directly for himself and for the president. He meant the White House. These are issues appropriately that are handled by security professionals at the State Department, and that's what he was talking about.
The president's spokesman is right. Typically, the State Department deals with security for its personnel on its own, so we rate this unclear. The vice president claims the House Republicans cut funding for embassy security.
I will be very specific. Number one, this lecture on embassy security. The congressman here cut embassy security in his budget by $300 million below what we asked for.
Figures from the Democratic House Oversight Committee back that up, and the Republican House Appropriations Committee confirms it. But after the Senate added more money, the final bill was about $270 million less than the administration requested. So Biden's claim is true. Congressman Ryan says the State Department should have called in the Marines to protect the ambassador to Libya.
Our ambassador in Paris has a Marine detachment guarding him. Shouldn't we have a Marine detachment guarding our ambassador in Benghazi, a place where we knew that there was an al-Qaeda cell with arms?
But that's not the job of the Marines, says the State Department.
They're not mandated and chartered to perform, can I finish my sentence? Yeah. To perform a bodyguard function.
Right.
The Marines' job, according to its website, is to protect classified information in embassies and consulates. Benghazi was a temporary mission with no classified documents or equipment. So Ryan's claim is false. Benghazi has become a major campaign issue, but this debate is being carried out even before the final reports of 3 investigations are released: an FBI investigation, a congressional one, and the State Department's own investigation. So some of this back and forth over who knew what when may not be clear until after the election. Jill Doherty, CNN, the State Department.
Well, we now take our second break. The news continues in just a moment. Well, welcome back. Fans who were airlifted to support the under-17 girls at the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup have thanked President Yahya Jammeh for sponsoring their trip. 50 fans benefited from a presidential package to go and support the Darling Scorpions. As we hear in this report, the fans had a wonderful time in Azerbaijan. Well, we apologize for not being able to bring that report. But before we end this edition of the news, a reminder of our top stories. Officials of the Gambia Investment and Export Promotion Agency and their counterparts from the Netherlands Embassy in Dakar have met to discuss the potential business venture in the country. Authorities in Pakistan have arrested 3 more suspects in the gruesome shooting of 14-year-old teenager Malala Yousafzai. And Colombian government officials and FARC rebel negotiators are set for peace talks to end the world's longest-running insurgency. Well, that's all in this edition of the news. Thanks for your time and enjoy the rest of the day.
Assalamu alaikum bari ngolo sibito sitale kotengal bisimila na menketa programme la min kanale GRTS jangi watola alnal badi malang Aissatou Bane